Texans fans, stop everything you are doing right now because we need to talk about the biggest question mark looming over our franchise. While our front office has been busy locking down defensive cornerstones, the situation surrounding our franchise quarterback's future has taken a turn that has the entire league buzzing. Is a massive payday coming, or are we heading into a season of uncertainty? I've got the latest intel on why a new deal might be put on hold, and you need to hear this before the season kicks off. Smash that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into this news. The Houston Texans have navigated a busy offseason by securing key cornerstones with substantial extensions, including Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Azeez Al-Shaair, and Dalton Schultz. Yet the most significant contract status remains unresolved as C.J. Stroud enters a pivotal stretch. Despite his eligibility for a major payday this offseason, there's been no significant traction toward a new deal for the franchise quarterback. While the team has historically demonstrated a willingness to be aggressive when locking up veteran talent, the situation surrounding C.J. Stroud currently suggests that a long-term agreement may not materialize before the 2026 campaign kicks off. The organization has clearly prioritized defensive investments in recent months, leaving the quarterback's contract on the back burner for the time being. According to reports from Jeremy Fowler on ESPN, momentum toward a summer deal is lacking, with some around the league now operating under the assumption that C.J. Stroud will simply play out the fourth year of his rookie contract. This development is not a final confirmation, as there is technically time remaining for the two sides to bridge the gap. But the current inactivity serves as a notable indicator of the team's internal timeline. The front office appears comfortable with the current state of affairs, even as the clock ticks toward the new season. Fans eager to see the face of the franchise locked in long-term will have to wait for further developments, as the focus remains fixed on the upcoming schedule. With the team having already committed resources to other core players, the decision to hold off on a massive extension for C.J. Stroud highlights a specific, deliberate approach to managing the roster as they look toward future challenges. It is Toro time. Why does this matter right now for the Texans? The decision to delay a new contract for C.J. Stroud impacts the immediate trajectory of the franchise because it dictates how the team manages its financial flexibility heading into future years. By not committing to a high-value, multi-year extension this summer, the organization maintains a different level of control over its salary cap allocations, allowing them to remain focused on the current roster's immediate production. For C.J. Stroud, this means heading into his fourth season with the stability of his existing rookie deal, while being under the microscope of high expectations. The team is currently balancing the need to retain essential pieces, while evaluating if now is the right time to commit a significant percentage of their cap space to one player. While waiting might be perceived as a financial safeguard for the team, it also introduces the risk of the market for top-tier quarterbacks continuing to climb. If C.J. Stroud delivers a standout performance during the upcoming 2026 season, his bargaining position will only strengthen, potentially leading to a higher contract value than what could have been negotiated this summer. Conversely, the team is shielding itself against the possibility of a dip in performance by keeping C.J. Stroud on his current trajectory for another year. This strategic patience creates a unique dynamic where the quarterback is incentivized to perform at his absolute peak to prove his worth for the massive payday that awaits him. The impact on the depth of the roster remains a core concern, as the organization continuously weighs the necessity of paying top dollar for their signal caller against the benefits of retaining depth at other vital positions across the field. The dilemma surrounding C.J. Stroud involves evaluating the trade-offs between acting now versus waiting for the next offseason. If the Texans were to extend C.J. Stroud immediately, they could theoretically lock in a price before the market inflates further, securing their quarterback for the long haul. This move would demonstrate a firm commitment to him as the face of the franchise. However, this path is not without its risks. Should C.J. Stroud fail to meet the high expectations placed upon him over the next year, the team would be locked into a massive cap hit that could limit their ability to add talent elsewhere. By choosing to remain patient, the front office is essentially asking for more data points before making a massive financial commitment. This wait-and-see approach allows them to observe how C.J. Stroud handles the pressures of the coming season before finalizing terms. If he plays at a high level, the organization will likely face little hesitation in finalizing a deal, even if the price tag is significantly higher than today's projected value. On the other hand, if the production does not reach the desired heights, the team avoids being trapped in a contract that might impede their future flexibility. The situation effectively places the ball in the court of CJ Stroud, who must navigate this uncertainty while preparing for what is undoubtedly the most critical season of his professional career. The organization is betting on its ability to assess the long-term value of its leader through the lens of one more campaign, prioritizing evidence over urgency. This conservative stance reflects a broader philosophy of roster management that emphasizes performance-based rewards, ensuring that the team remains in a position to adjust its strategy based on the reality of the play on the field. Regardless of the ongoing contract discussion, the stakes for CJ Stroud have never been higher as the 2026 season approaches. The pressure to re-establish his standing among the elite quarterbacks in the league is immense. For the past 3 years, the team has faced a persistent hurdle in the playoffs, struggling to advance beyond the divisional round. Many observers believe that the performance of CJ Stroud is the primary factor that will determine whether the Texans can finally break through that barrier and secure a deeper run in the postseason. His ability to elevate the offense and make critical plays in high-leverage moments will be scrutinized heavily throughout the season. The outcome of these games will serve as the final piece of evidence for the front office as they decide the future of his contract. If he manages to lead the team to a significant postseason achievement, the argument for a record-breaking extension becomes nearly impossible to ignore. However, if the same limitations continue to surface, the conversation surrounding his value to the organization will naturally become more complex. CJ Stroud is well aware that his performance is the greatest leverage he has. By focusing on his development and the success of the team, he can control the narrative far more effectively than he could through contract negotiations alone. The focus for the entire franchise has shifted toward the gridiron, where the primary objective is to demonstrate that the team is capable of sustained, high-level success. This season will serve as the definitive evaluation period for everyone involved, with CJ Stroud at the center of the quest to elevate the team beyond its recent struggles and into the next tier of competition. The path forward for the Texans and CJ Stroud appears to be one of cautious anticipation. While fans may be looking for a quick resolution to the contract standoff, the current reality indicates that a deal is not imminent. The team has opted to direct its financial resources elsewhere, focusing on defensive stability while leaving the quarterback situation to be resolved by the results of the 2026 season. This does not mean the relationship is strained, but rather that the organization is adhering to a business-like approach that prioritizes financial flexibility and performance verification. CJ Stroud enters the season as the undisputed leader of the team, tasked with the significant responsibility of overcoming previous postseason failures. His focus will remain on refining his mechanics and leadership, as he knows that a successful campaign is the only way to solidify his long-term future in Houston. General Manager Nick Caserio and the front office have positioned the team to succeed this year, having retained several key veterans to support the growth of the roster. By holding off on an early extension, the organization retains the capacity to respond to unforeseen needs that may arise during the season. It is a calculated move in a business that rewards those who can consistently produce at an elite level. As the team prepares for training camp and the subsequent opening of the season, all eyes will be on CJ Stroud to see if he can meet the challenge of a high-stakes year. Whether or not a deal gets done by the end of this summer, the primary goal for the franchise remains consistent: to reach the next level of success. CJ Stroud is the engine of that ambition, and his performance will dictate the terms of the next chapter.